Welcome back. We hope that you're enjoying your adventure through Health Wealth Community and that you're enjoying these testimonials. We're going to talk about CBD now, and we all know what a really hot topic that is. You may not realize it, but in 2018, it was estimated that the CBD market would be a $500 million market, but it turned out to be a $1 billion market in 2018. And Forbes magazine and Fortune 500 have both predicted that the CBD market is going to be between a $22 and $25 billion market just in the next couple of years. So we know that there's a lot of CBD on the market. In fact, there's a lot of you who are using a CBD product right now. Unfortunately, because this is kind of the Wild West where CBD products are concerned, and that's because the Farm Bill passed in December of 2018, which allowed CBD to be sold in all 50 states. And that's why we were able to release it into the market, but it was released into the market with a lot of other stuff. And the Food and Drug Administration have actually said that about 40% of all CBD products on the market today have no active CBD in them. And the way that CBD products are processed, they actually break them down with chemicals, with heat, with heavy processing. And all of those things take away from the high-level quality that is available in the plant. The cannabis plant, the hemp plant, is a very powerful medicinal plant, and it can offer a great deal of health and healing. So if you're buying your CBD at the gas station for $15, if you're getting it off the shelf at Walmart for $50, be sure you're looking at the back of the bottle. Read what's in it. So many of them have additives and chemicals, and we know how they're processed. Our process is very unique, and Annette's going to talk to that now.
Thank you, DJ. So I am really excited, for one, about our product. If you can kind of see that there. It's a very clean looking container, which is actually indicative of the inside, because the inside, what is in our product, is clean and sleek, in that it is one simple ingredient. You can see the coloring, you can see that if you've looked at other products. But what I want to share with you most about this is we have a process where the plant, the high-grade plant that only grows at a 0.3% THC, is processed one time. That plant is taken, and the whole flower blossom of that plant is put into a process that extracts every medicinal property possible out of that blossom and extrudes it down into this bottle in an aqueous fluid. Again, we talked in another video about what our bodies are made of. If our body is 75% or more water, and we all know what happens when you put oil in water. We've all had to wash the leftover greasy lasagna pan, or get the oil off of the driveway, or whatever it is unfazed by water. It is not soluble into a water solution. And so to think that we can use processes that take this plant with these delicate and incredible medicinal profiles to it, that we can extract that through the heat and the propane, the butane, the things that DJ talked about, and put it back in a bottle with all the other stuff and side things that has created, versus a single process, a proprietary process that extracts all of those medicinal properties from the blossom itself into an aqueous fluid, something that goes into our bodies and behaves and absorbs and moves through our bodies in the same way that water does. yet is full of CBD1 and CBD2 and CBDA and terpenes and flavonoids and all of the amazing things that that beautiful plant has in that blossom. And we can bring all of that down to a level of being able to use 2 drops. 2 drops for a full dose. So think about it. If you're buying something in one of those bottles where every time you need to use it, you're being told to do, a half a dropper full to a whole dropper full. I mean, look at the size relativity of this, and look at the size relativity of the droppers that you may be accustomed to using. And think about 2 drops of an aqueous fluid versus into your mouth, maybe holding it under your tongue for a minute, letting absorb, versus that half a dropper of those bigger droppers. We looked at the relativity of a finger. Those bigger droppers, half a drop to a full drop, to some of you have even told me 2 full droppers full to get what is considered a single dose of the medicinal properties and value from that plant. It kind of reminds me of the Humpty Dumpty nursery rhyme. I mean, I have to say that. When you think about Humpty Dumpty being up on that wall and falling down and scattering all over the place, and all the king's horsemen and all the king's men trying to scrape up Humpty Dumpty, now you've got the road base, you've got whatever else was around, whatever else might have been in their broom and dustpans as they're trying to sweep Humpty Dumpty back together and glue him back together. I mean, think about the byproducts that are in that now in the fillers. And it's a wonder that people are having such difficulty sometimes finding a CBD product on the market that is really helping them the way that they had hoped. When you go back to that Humpty Dumpty process versus our process, the World Health Organization itself purports that those CBD products that go through that process, that Humpty Dumpty process of propanes, butanes, chemicals, all the things that are used to hit that one plant. I mean, imagine one plant being hit at all these different ways, all these different methods, and then being extracted into bottles and added with fillers to make your soaps and your lotions and your potions and your vapes and the different, your gummies, all these things. And the World Health Organization itself says that people are only getting a 6 to 10% bioavailability from using that product. Think about it. Now, I'm not saying people aren't having great results, because they are. Some people are having great results, but think about that. If that's only 6 to 10% of the medicinal property and result that you could be having, it's like going to your favorite steakhouse, honestly. Ordering your favorite steak, cutting off 6 to 10% of it, sending the rest back, and only eating this much and still paying the full bill. How ridiculous is that? Why are we doing that? Well, for a long time there wasn't an alternative, but now there is. Now there's an alternative that with just 2 dropperfuls of this.
2 drops.
Sorry, 2 drops. Correct me when I go crazy. Thank you, DJ. 2 drops. 2 drops. You're going to get 90% or more bioavailability. You guys, you get to eat the whole steak. You get to eat it till you're full. You get the whole steak with that. And you're getting the full medicinal profile of that blossom, not what's remaining after it's been heated and all those other processes that we talked about. So I love this. I love that the people I know who have used other products and had legitimate results are having dramatic results and effects from this. I love that it's safe for our pets, it's safe for our children, it's safe for our grandparents. The stories go on, and that's what Health Wealth Community is for, is not so you can listen to me try to recount stories. So Health Wealth Community, and look in there. And the other really, really exciting thing is just this month, in the last couple of weeks, the company has released this amazing product. This is exactly what's in here. 100% whole flower extract in an aqueous fluid, energized into a very discreet application process. Something where if you're at work or in a crowd or on the train commuting to work or in a doctor's office or whatever else, wherever else you are, you can look like you're getting your nutritional profile of CBD from a breath spray, because that's the way you do it. It's just 2 quick squirts, pop, pop, in each cheek in your mouth. It absorbs like this, and actually it absorbs even a little faster and a little better because of its energized process that it's been through, compressed. And for those of you who aren't totally in love with the fact that this actually tastes 100% like the natural plant, there's just a pinch of cinnamon and mint in this one too. So people who love this have loved this too. I use them both, especially because this one is also phenomenal topically. And this one I don't recommend topically because there's a little bit of that, because we use all natural mint and cinnamon, it's going to leave a little red spot on your skin. So you can use it topically, but I'll tell you that this is my favorite for topical use. And this is my favorite for when I need to be discreet. And this is my favorite for my 2 drops at bedtime, which is how I have overcome my insomnia between the collagen that we've talked about in another excerpt for you and the Suthe drops. I am sleeping like I never had before, not in my whole life, not since I can remember. And it's fabulous. So that's our CBD. It's amazing. And I'll turn that back over to you, DJ. Thanks.
Thanks, Annette. So I mentioned that I've had tremendous results, that it was able to help me with my systemic pain, but my husband started using it the same time I did. Now, my husband is 5 years older than me, and he has been a desk jockey for many years. And before he was a desk jockey, he was an athlete. So he was a semi-professional cricket player, and he was a bowler, which is a pitcher. So he was tearing up his shoulder. And he was also a professional soccer referee. So he spent years running backwards, which is what soccer referees do. And so he had beat up his body pretty good, and he had chronic back pain. He was so stiff that he could not bend over. He could not tie his shoes. I actually had to tie his shoes for him because he couldn't do it. And he was just always in pain, and he was always taking aspirin or Excedrin for pain, or Advil. And it was just a part of his life. And shoulder pain is just part of his life. He just accepted that that's what he was and that's where he was. Well, a few years ago, he actually had back surgery. And so he thought, okay, my back is going to hurt for the rest of my life. 24 hours after starting to take Suthe, 24 hours, he said, my back pain is gone. And he spent all summer out painting fences on our farm. He was doing things out with the animals. He's been going for walks, which he hasn't been able to do for ages. He can stand in line. You know, his life has just changed. It's been absolutely such a blessing. And of course, we went ahead and added Restore, and we added all of the supplements. So his overall life experience has just been dramatic. But 24 hours, I was even a little bit jealous because it took me 48. So thank you for being with us, and we hope that you are thinking about having a Suthe experience of your own.